Now I just want to go into a little bit of how I chose the movies for watching. So basically, I did create a spreadsheet and I put in quite a bit of data, but in the end, there was only really two pieces of information that I cared about to create a final score, which is just a multiplication of the two. Um, but I basically, if you go to Language Reactor, they do have a catalog, and you can look at, for a particular language. And if you don't know, there's a different offering of titles based on which country you're in. That's just how it works with Netflix. So they have this. To be fair, I have not found this to be 100% accurate. So there's another one, unogs.com. You can search, just click your country, order by rating, and whatever else, and search. And you can't sort by language, but you can basically see um, all of the movies on Netflix rated by their IMDb rating, which is something that's one of the columns I made. But actually, I've just found that this just doesn't really have much bearing on whether I would like a movie or not, because there are very highly rated movies and shows that I just have no interest in. And then some of the things that I've liked quite a bit have had lower ratings. Like even Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon is lower than average, and it's a great movie. I mean, I love fantasy, and it's actually called wuxia, I think. Anyway, is the genre. The best one I've found is this site called whatsonnetflix.com. Um, it's only really for people in the US, but you can go to their library and see movies by language, and I have this here, Mandarin, and you can see that there are supposedly 152 Mandarin movies. They say that it might not be accurate, but I found it to be quite accurate. It's very close to the precise number of movies that are on there, and you can sort by the IMDb rating, which is, somewhat helpful. So I've put a lot of these movies, also just doing some organic searching on Netflix itself. I put them all into this spreadsheet and put the IMDb rating, the length of the movie, or if it's a show, just the length of the first episode. Um, and then what I did was I then went in and I would play the movie, and then, as long as the subtitles are set up correctly, which we gotta go to traditional. Actually, this is a Chinese movie from mainland, so I'm curious why it's traditional and not simplified available. Anyway, boom. It says, wow, that 1,400 words that are neither known nor learning, and 83%. So, actually, that should be down here. Let's update that. I'll show you how I update it. 14, 18, and 83. 14, 18, and 83. And then we'll just update that. So the first time I checked this, there was 1,500 words outside of my range, 93, 91%. Now, after watching 2 or 3 movies, it's changed, and now I'm at 1,483. So it's a little bit better off now. And basically, this is the total of words that are known plus words I'm learning. And then this is my interest level in the movie. And then I just multiply the two figures to figure out my final score for determining whether I'm going to watch that movie or not. So first, just looking at this, you can see that this movie was a terrible movie, but it was made in Singapore, and the first language in Singapore is English, and 70% of the people are ethnically Chinese, so a lot of them speak Chinese at home. But I would guess that though they speak Mandarin fluently, they do not, well, other languages as well, but other Chinese languages as well. But though they may speak their Chinese language fluently, they probably don't have quite as big of a vocabulary. as, say, people from mainland China or Taiwan because they're spending at least half their time, if not more, speaking English. So even though it was a terrible movie that I do not recommend, uh, I actually was able to get up to 50% of the movie being known but or learning by me for an 80-minute movie. So that was the number one suggestion. So I watched it and I learned a lot. It was very much the easiest movie for me to learn with, but I I cringed through it. Um, but if I were to do it again, I probably would have just skipped it. So then what I did was I gave everybody, since the IMDb rating average is 7.1, I gave everybody all movies and shows 7.1 by average. And then what I'll do is if we go by the final score, we have quite a few up here. All right, so this one, I would look at the first one, and these are all basically just being ordered by how well I know the movie. So this one is a show. It's a Taiwanese show, probably much more uplifting than that other movie that I saw. So um, if we take a look at that, episodes around 44 minutes, which is pretty standard. Um, so for a 45-minute show, that's a pretty low number of words I don't yet know, and a pretty high number of words that I already know, or percentage of words I already know. So that could be an easier one for me to learn. It's probably, a show, basically everyday life, so common language. Um, so what I'll do is I haven't done it yet, this show, but I'll watch the first 5-10 minutes of it and then decide whether I want to keep watching, and then I'll adjust my interest level. And I've actually done this quite a bit and been surprised. This one I'm interested in. It probably needs 7.5 at least. Um, and I tried that one out, and I wasn't expecting to like that one, but I did like that one. This is one that I thought I might like, but I didn't like it, and also they spoke too quickly in it. Um, so I gave it a very low rating. So I've already done that with quite a few of these and given most of them lower ratings, you know, because I just wasn't as interested in them. Um, but like say, so basically I'll just go one by one, and you'll be surprised. There's so many of these that honestly, like on the outset, I'm not that interested in. The Bruce Lee one might be good. I ended up liking Scissor Seven, um, but a lot of these I'm just like I'm not sure about, you know. But you'll be surprised. So watch 5 to 10 minutes, and you might actually like it. There was a mainland Chinese drama that I started liking. I don't know where it is. Eternal Love, maybe? Is that this one? No, it's not that one. Anyway, um, so you'll just do that. Update your interest level. If you don't like it, just adjust this. Maybe put it as a 5, 4, whatever you're gonna do, and then when you resort, it's gonna bump it down. And maybe it doesn't bump it down all the way to the bottom. It bumps it down a bit, and then you don't come back to it until you've gone through other ones to see if there's something you liked more. And basically, if there's your interest level in the piece of content, of course, is very, very important. You want to be engaged. So, well, this is what I did, and then that's how I ended up on Scissor 7, which is an animated show, an adult animation, which is a bit vulgar, but it's kind of funny. And I like that the episodes are so short, so I can feel a sense of accomplishment by getting through one. Um, so this is probably going to be my kind of go-to, but I don't want to watch it all the time, so I'm probably going to alternate with some other things. Um, but it's a good one for me to start with because I'm interested in enough. Um, I could probably give it a 7.5, sure. I'm interested in enough, but it's also on the easier end, very close to the easiest, um, of pieces of content I can learn with. And it's probably easy because it's animated, even though it's adult level. But say like one of the ones that I really want to see, actually I already saw it in English, is Wandering Earth. It's a long movie, 2 hours long. but there's 1,500 unique words in it as opposed to 300. And to be fair, 2 hours versus 12 minutes, that makes sense to some degree. But also, percentage of language that I don't know is 91, whereas this is 63. That's a huge difference. So, um, you know, actually it's down to 83 now because I just updated it. So what I'll do is after I watch a movie, I watched Green Snake, and then I might update some of these. So I'm not going to do update all of them, but in order to update it, you have to open up the movie and see the adjusted score, and then you can put it in, and then basically, yeah. So unfortunately, even though this is a movie I'm really interested in, um, it might be a little bit too much of a struggle compared to some other options for me to learn really efficiently with it. So I'm putting it off. Now, to be fair, I might just get sick of these dramas or whatever, and I'm like, I just want something really nice. And then I might just open it up and try it out. And I think that's totally fair. It's more important for you to be interested in it than for it to be easy. But since there's so many options that I haven't even given a shot to yet, I think I'm gonna try to see what else there is and basically work my way down. And eventually I'll get to it, you know? Because after I watch each episode or movie, um, I can eventually update these things, and eventually this will be more approachable. Probably the reason why this is harder is because it's a science fiction movie with a lot of science fiction vocabulary, written originally by one of my favorite authors, who's very, not verbose, but maybe for whatever reason the script writer used bigger words, or whatever. So it's just, not the easiest option. So that's pretty much how I chose which movies to watch.